Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 2021 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Cancer be affected by the November 2021 new moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels, oh goodness, and spirit guides, angels. That one. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the world at our root, and we have the moon. So this moon is going to quite literally open up the world to us, and the world is going to open to us with this moon. So there's something very powerful going on with this new moon on the 4th of November. We have the Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If we have Earth sign energy in our chart, that's coming through very powerfully in our inner self. Also, Earth sign energy within our life coming through very powerfully in our inner self. We're nurturing something here, growing something more. We have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy right here. So very strong Taurus energy, because Taurus is also represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana. Very strong Taurus energy in our inner self. The Hierophant is also one of the most powerful cards in the tarot. So there is real power, real prosperity coming forward inwardly for us. We then have the 10 of Wands. We're putting down a burden we've carried for way too long. The 7 of Cups. We're starting to look at our dreams again. The Queen of Pentacles. So we have the Queen of Pentacles coming through twice. And then we have the Devil. So strong Capricorn energy right here as well. So if we have Capricorn energy in our natal chart or in our lives, that's going to come through very powerfully in the public arena. But there's also something about like having to fight for our prosperity and having to really look at what it is that we want and not what it is that other people want for us or what other people just want in their own lives. And we've kind of internalized it and said, oh, well, that's how I should be. And Spirit's saying, why not be who you are? You know, there's going to be this really beautiful sense of growth here. There's going to be this beautiful sense of stepping into our own more and more and more during this time. So let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. The King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is, again, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have to be mindful of making money our only gain or only aim and also our only gain during this time, because Spirit's saying there's so much more here for us to be a part of, for us to, embrace and understand, that if we kind of limit ourselves to just kind of the material world, we're going to find that we've stunted our own growth. We're also going to see that we're going to be very drawn, as human beings are, by people who are successful. But they're people who are successful for them and in the way that was right for them. And we have to follow our own success and the way that's right for us. We're trying very hard to fit ourselves into a mold that we were never born to fit into. And now it's time to step back from that. Let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Rebirth. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. We are reborn. That's just going to be the fact of the matter. Everything is changing. Everything is moving forward within us. We are reborn. We are, in a sense, learning how to fly, learning how to embrace what it is that we want and where it is that we want to be and who it is that we are. And there's this real sense of coming together during this time. Now let's talk about this new moon. This new moon is in Scorpio. It's on the 4th of November, and it's a powerful new moon. This new moon, as the new moon always is, it's the sun conjunct the moon, which always represents the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. This is also going to be a time where energy becomes clear. We have this clear sense of direction, this clear sense of want. We have this clear burst of energy and instinct coming forward. And it's like, I'm not sitting back anymore. We can really find that during the new moons, that's when we get this power, this energy, this burst of, this is what I need to do, this is what needs to be done. And especially during this new moon, we're not sitting back on our haunches anymore. We're not going to take it lightly. This is what we want. There's something here that's propelling us forward, and we're being driven by it. The new moon brings balance into our lives, balance of emotions, balance of self, but it also is a time for beginnings and endings. It's also a time to really go after what we've been putting off. And with the new moon opposite Uranus, this brings a struggle for independence, but this also brings this severe sense of change, this severe sense of chaos, and this sense of our minds opening, our eyes opening, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, but this is where I need to be. It's like, this is what I need to be doing. And it's going to come to us kind of like a lightning bolt. It's going to come to us in a way that just is like, this is what's needed. Why haven't I seen it? Or I've seen it, but it wasn't something that I wanted to see. It was something where I took the burden on my heart and I thought, okay, I just have to keep on taking on these burdens. And Spirit's saying, no, you don't. We're going to find that things change, that the status quo isn't staying the same. We're also going to find that we really want to be ourselves. We want to figure out who that is. We want to figure out what we want and what we love and what we need from our lives. And we're each going to be really embracing this, our own personal journey, this power that's coming forward. So we might find ourselves in conflict with other people because other people are also saying, you know what, I put this off long enough. Now it's time for action. Now it's time to go after what I need, what I want. And it says here, work through your fears. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be working through our fears because Spirit is propelling us into our fears. The moon is propelling us into our fears with this change. We have to stay true to our inner selves. We have to stay true to who it is that we are and not fall prey to the influence of everybody else. We need to embrace what we desire. There's going to be this need for adventure, this need to kind of step out of our comfort zone. Do so, and start embracing what we want from life. Mercury sextile Venus is going to be a harmonizing energy because the new moon opposite Uranus, it brings chaos. It brings determination. It brings this need and this craving for independence, where Mercury sextile Venus brings a sense of harmony, brings a sense of centering of the chaos, the calm within the storm, and an awareness of ourselves and our goals and our communication skills and what it is that we love and what it is that we want. Things may seem overwhelming, but we have this energy that centers us and de-stresses us. And all of a sudden, it's like, yes, things are overwhelming, but also there's this crystal clear focus that comes with it. Mercury sextile Venus brings love and friendship and cooperation and compromise, and it brings people and ideas together. Even though with the new moon opposite Uranus, we have this strong sense of independence and, self-discovery and, the self really coming forward. The stars during this time we're going to start with the constellation of the Crown. The Crown brings us heightened artistic abilities. It brings us love for flowers, love for nature, love for the beautiful. So we can really find that we're drawn to floral prints, having fresh cut flowers, or even having fake flowers in the house is just going to be something beautiful for us and really brings us joy. But it also brings mental weariness and disillusionment. We're done with the lies. We're done with more burdens being put on our shoulders and put on our shoulders. There's a real sense here of I need to express and embrace me. The fixed star Alphecca, which is in the crown, right, is of the nature of Venus and of Mercury. And these are two planets that, again, with Mercury sextile Venus, are already very much in play. They bring honor and dignity. The fixed star Alphecca brings honor and dignity while enhancing our artistic and poetic abilities. Now we have the constellation, the cross, also coming into play during this time, which gives us perseverance, but it also brings with it burdens and hardships and suffering, because it's our cross to bear. It's the burdens that we have been carrying, and we've been carrying them in our heart for just too long. The fixed star Arcus, which is within the cross, is of the nature of Jupiter and brings us religious and spiritual inclinations and awakenings. There's an inclination towards ceremonies, towards justice, towards this sense of beauty, and this beauty in ancient steeped traditions. It doesn't mean that we have to follow these traditions. It's just going to be that we find them beautiful. We find them intoxicating. Like, not intoxicating, yeah, but even the ritual behind it can be intoxicating. We're just drawn into an ancient world or an ancient sense of tradition. We are going to also see with the fixed star in Arcus that it brings us magic. It brings the magic into the world. We start to see the things that we've just been overlooking, taking for granted, and that really does become beautiful. Now, the world starts to open to us. It starts to open to us in a very real way, in a very powerful way, in a very passionate way. We're going to see that this moon has us looking at our fears, which is what the new moon opposite Uranus does. It brings out our fears. And we might be that we're sideswiped by somebody. We could have thought, okay, everything was going around fine, or, I'm handling this fine. It doesn't need to be dealt with in this certain way. And now Spirit is saying, no, everything's going to come to a head. So it can feel like, again, we're hit by a lightning bolt. It can feel like we're knocked off our feet. But there is this real sense of the world opening and us facing the fears that we thought would just cripple us. We thought we would never be able to move past. And this moon is having us see things in a very different light, in a very different way. And as we're looking at this, and as this moon opens to us, it also has us seeing the quiet, has us seeing things not in the blaring light of the day, not when everybody else is looking, but in the quiet of the night, in the quiet of the recesses of our hearts and what we desire. All of a sudden we start to see what we're nurturing. We start to see what we're fighting for. We start to see what's sacredly important to us. Now, it can be family, it can be children, but it can also be the wealth that we're building within our lives. It's whatever we're nurturing. It's whatever we're growing within us and around us. And there's this real sense of the time that we put in directly affects what we get out of our lives and ourselves and what we desire. So we're going to see that we're nurturing something more. We're building a wealth, and people start to look at us as prosperous, as bountiful, as having maybe even what they're missing. And they can even see us as having more answers than maybe we even feel we have, because we're handling this change, and there's such a sense of prosperity to us. There's such a sense of building something more, building something grander. It leads us to the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant represents the Pope, and the Pope in medieval times was the most powerful person in the European world, right? And so here we have this sense of power. We have this sense of, seeing what needs to be seen and saying what needs to be said. There are keys that are unlocking doors to us and for us, but they're doors to us. Spirit had me say it right. There's a sense of there's more here than meets the eye. There's power, and there's prosperity, and there's bounty, and there's insight, and there's ideas. And I'm going to be following this different path. I'm going to be following this powerful path, and I'm going to be embracing wealth, prosperity, abundance, insight, and where I need to be within my life. There's also going to be the sense of, what am I married to? What are my traditions? What are my desires? What is it that I need in order to be fully, prosperously, and bountifully me? We move to the Ten of Wands. Here in the Ten of Wands is the weight that we have on our shoulders. In our heart, we've been carrying too much. And it's just been too much. We're going to think, I should be able to carry this. I should be able to bear all these burdens and just keep on going stoically, never complaining, never, questioning. And Spirit saying, why? Why do we have to carry all the burdens and put everything on ourselves? There's more here than meets the eye. And there's more that we're embracing. There's more that we're going after than we even realize that we wanted. We're starting to put down the burdens. We're starting to find that place that feels comfortable and secure and home for us. And it moves us to our dreams. It moves us to a place that we love. It moves us to the dreams that we've put on the back burner. And it's starting to say to us, what do I want? What do I need? And what is it that makes my heart sing? What is it that, moves me forward in this beautiful, connected way to my dreams and to myself? Because so often, as we take on more responsibilities, as we put more and more upon our shoulders, we forget our dreams. We forget, the reason why we're here, and we just become routine. Now, there's nothing wrong at all, and I firmly believe in responsibilities, and routines are good, but being able to embrace what our heart wants, being able to see our souls, being able to, step into the world and not have each day be exactly like the last, so that it becomes blurred in our own minds and we feel less than, we feel silenced, we feel as if we just can't. And Spirit saying here, oh yes, you absolutely can. So it brings us to our dreams, which start to plant the seeds in the public arena for us. It starts to plant what we want and what we desire and what we need and where it is that we need to be. And all of a sudden we see what we're nurturing in our inner self start to take form and shape in the public arena, in our world, in what we desire. And we start to embrace our prosperity, our success, our bounty, and our abundance. There's something that we're stepping into here that has our heart breaking. So there's something that we're doing that it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel as if, I'm doing something wrong. But Spirit's saying here, it's because you're so used to carrying so many burdens in your heart and trying to be the peacemaker, trying to be the fixer, or having somebody in our life who is the peacemaker, that fixer, and they're going to be pulling back because each person during this time is going to say, I need to see myself. I can't be fixing everybody else's problems. I need to stand in me. And that starts to bring prosperity forward for us. That starts to have us look at what we want, what we desire, what we're growing towards, and it has us grow in a very real way, in a very powerful way. And it brings the devil forward, which is boundaries. We need clear and distinct boundaries within our world, within ourselves. But we also need this clear and distinct way that we're moving forward. We're going to find that we're tempted. We're tempted by what everybody else wants. We're tempted by, the most popular thing, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, that'll be the best thing for me. But it's not always. Just because everybody else likes it doesn't mean that it's right for us. And so here we start finding our path. We start seeing what we're chained to. We start seeing what's pulling us down. We start seeing what, what's denying us, what's holding us back, what we hadn't seen right, or we hadn't been honest to ourselves. And now we're being set free. Now we're starting to say, oh, this is where I was. This is how I was defining myself, and no more. And what Spirit brings because of this is this beautiful connection to the moon's voice. So let's see what the moon has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It brings us, as we break free from everything in the public arena, it brings us to believing in the impossible and seeing the resistance that we've had to believing in the impossible. It's almost like I'm not worthy of these beliefs, or, this couldn't possibly be my life, or, I tried to go after my dreams and they just didn't work out. And what Spirit's saying is that, yeah, sometimes we go after our dreams, right? And it didn't work out. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right dream. We could have thought, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. And Spirit's saying, no, not that. Because if you do that, it won't bring you here. So things fall apart and we're devastated. But we're supposed to be at the point where we are, like the point of this precipice towards something greater, something more. It's time to believe in the impossible. We've tried to be crushed down, and the moon is showing us that. We've tried to be, stopped, ignored, our voice taken away. And Spirit's saying, no more. It moves us to the balance of the spiritual and the practical, and that becomes the change. There's a huge change that we're going through with this moon, and it almost feels like we're moving the moon. It almost feels like we're moving this force that was never supposed to be moved, that was always supposed to be there, like Atlas carrying the weight of the world upon his shoulders as punishment. So here, as we have change come forward, it's to balance the spiritual and the practical within us. It's for us to actually see ourselves again, and it moves us to conclusions are within reach, to seeing things quite openly and being able to release from our heart, from our understanding. It's like, oh, okay, this is the conclusion that was driving me forward. This is what I'm supposed to be releasing. And there's a full moon eclipse, right? On the 19th, is it the 19th or the 20th? The 19th, I believe, of November. And so we're moving here towards our emotional self. We're going to see that we've put down a lot of burdens that we've been carrying by the next full moon, by the November full moon. And that's going to be where the conclusions start to come. And all of a sudden, we're releasing so much of what we've been holding on to, so much of what's been defining ourselves, but yet has also been taking away, like defiling who we are. And yet it's been defining what we are. And Spirit's saying, no, no more. You are good enough. You are enough. And I know that sounds so condescending. When I first read this card, when I first got this deck, I thought, oh, how rude. You're good enough. Like, oh, poo-poo onto you. Or, you're good enough. You don't have to try. You don't have to strive for more. And that's not what it's saying at all. It's saying who you are is enough. You are good enough. Start to believe that. Start to embrace that. Start to embody that. And we'll start to see the world change around us. Because if we think we're worth it, other people will think we're worth it. If we think we're not worth it, other people will be more than happy to reiterate that time and time again. Darkness. It's going to be within the darkness. It's going to be within the quiet of this new moon that we start to see our worth, our desire. We start to face what we fear. And it moves us then to our subconscious lunar self, which says your dreams need a practical plan. They need to come, and that's what the heart is saying. Instead of being buried under burden after burden, they need to come to the light, and the dreams need to have a place, a sacred holding spot for them. Self-love. Love yourself. Love yourself because you're worth it. Love yourself because you matter. Love yourself because your path is important, and nobody else knows your path quite like you. So embrace it, see it, understand it. It moves us to the subconscious energy to be mindful of, the Princess of Cups. Our emotions can overflow during this time. We can feel like children, like princesses, like people who are demanding, like toddlers having a tantrum. And Spirit's saying here, understand the emotion, but we're going to go from one extreme to another, to being all practical, all adult, like all, this is exactly the way it should be, type of thing, to then all child, all, discovery, all, and not in the best way, not discovery in the best way, but all, petulant insolence that says, I demand this, I should have it because I want it. And Spirit's saying here, stop and find the middle ground. And we're also going to be attracted to people who are the extreme of super, responsible, but to the point of having no fun and taking away all the discovery, all the joy from life. And then to people who are super irresponsible, who all they want to do is have fun and they feel like the world owes them. So be mindful of this. It moves us to our subconscious chakra message, which is the inner child. Whenever the inner child comes up, this is the heart chakra. I love the exercise of visualizing the child that we once were. At the time when life was hard, at the time where we didn't feel pretty or talented or loved or seen, or we were going through something hard, hold your arms open to that child and let that child run into your arms and say, I love you. I see you. I'm here for you. I will always care for you. And this might have been when we were little. This could have been when we were a teenager. This could be in our 20s. Whenever this is, our 30s, 40s, whenever it is that we felt that inner child within us break. And we need that comforting. We need that sense of, I'm here for you. Hold on. Hold on to who you are. With love, with caring. Our subconscious rooted message is the Hierophant. Prosperity, success, abundance. The Hierophant came through in our inner selves. Now it's coming through at our root. What are the things that if we turn away from the essence of ourselves? What are the things that we should not ignore? We're being told here to plant our roots, to embrace what we desire. It moves us then to our subconscious public arena self. And that's the Lovers. That's Gemini energy. It's embracing what we love. It's holding on to our hearts. It's knowing that if we're born on the cusp with Gemini, this energy is going to come out quite powerfully. And there's a sense here of my heart gets to move me. My heart gets to be a part of this. I get to embrace what I love. I get to embrace what I desire. I get to embrace and find the passion within my world again. And it moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the Four of Wands. Now we have the Hierophant come through twice. That's the Major Arcana marriage card. This is the Minor Arcana marriage card. So we're being told here, what are we married to? Not who are we married to, not if we even want to get married, but the sense of what is it in my life that if I take this away, I feel like I've broken an oath to myself. I feel like I've stepped away from who I am and who I want to be and what I need to discover. Here, we're going to find new beginnings coming. We're going to find new passions leading us forward. There can be new job opportunities. It can be moving house. It could be finding a relationship, and it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but finding a relationship with somebody who gets us, who sees us, who understands us. And that's pretty awesome. It moves us then to our subconscious public arena self. And that's the Ace of Swords, clarity. Cutting through doubts and fears and hurts and pains and cobwebs and despairs and doubts, and really starting to see what we want, embracing our voice and our mind. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift. And that gift redefines us. That gift moves us forward. That gift brings us passion and insight and has us becoming more of us, because we're starting to see the nobility of who we are. The fact that we're worth it, the fact that we're powerful, the fact that we have put time and effort into the cultivation of us. And that becomes the game changer here. Speaking our truth, speaking what needs to be spoken during this time, what shouldn't just be swept under the rug, because we're going to have a tendency to do that. Sweep it under the rug until we just explode. This is going to be a time where we start to say what needs to be said and release what needs to be released. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the beauty of this new moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer, and may you have a blessed moon.